people, we are Tottenham TV back here for yet another Tottenham update, and let's go straight into it, starting off talking about our new signing coming this winter, Yang Min Hyuk, this new South Korean star, 18 years of age. And we've heard that Tottenham have requested for Yang Min Hyuk to join Spurs earlier than expected. He was supposed to come in January, but apparently Spurs have requested for him to join in mid-December now. The league season for Korea does end in November, and he was set to join in January, but due to Odebear's injury, they've asked him to come earlier to start training, but obviously he can't start playing until the start of January. But it's positive news that apparently he will be coming early to start training, hopefully get up to speed for January.
Yeah, and I think it's a good move just because it will give us a better look of what we want to do with him come January. Do we want to send him on loan? Do we think he can get up to speed quick enough to really make an impact in the second half of the season? Obviously, as you say, with Wilson Odebear's injury, depending on how he reacts, how quickly he gets back and all that kind of stuff. With Richarlison consistently injured as well, it'll be good to get Yang Min Hyuk involved as soon as possible and get him playing minutes and getting him involved and up to speed. And the quicker he can do that, the quicker he can make an impact. So really, really good decision and very exciting for potentially come January. Instead of him coming into January then having that whole month to settle all that stuff, he can be more settled, so he can start playing games a lot quicker. So I think it's a good move, an exciting move.
Yeah, definitely. And he's been a star of the Korean League this season. Plenty of goal contributions. I think it's over 11, 12 goals, 6, 7 assists, something like that.
10 goals and 5 assists.
Yeah, so I mean, he's been a proper breakout star this year in the Korean League. Obviously, the Premier League and English football was a massive step up from Korea. But he'll have Sonny here, won't he, to give a helping hand, to help him settle in. And Sonny knows exactly what is needed. Fireworks going on outside. Sonny knows exactly what it's needed for a young Korean boy to come over to Europe and really make a mark.
Yeah, and also I think, I've watched seeing Yang Min Hyuk's positions this season as well. It looks like he's mostly been playing on the right-hand side for his side. So could he provide a bit more competition for Brennan Johnson on that side as well? We obviously, apart from Brennan, we don't really have too many natural right-sided players on that side as well. So that could also really benefit us if he could get up to speed quick enough.
Let's move on and let's talk about Cuti Romero and his injury update. Gaston Edul, Argentinian journalist, has given us an update on it, and he says Cuti Romero has an injury to the ligament of his right toe. There is no bone injury, fracture or crack. It is milder than it could have been. He's expected to be out for a week or 10 days.
So that's positive. Obviously, it's not positive that he's out and he's going to be missing the next 2 games, but hopefully by the time the international break comes around, he'll be fit and he'll be ready to play again. And obviously, he's so important to our back line, and he's a very important player. So I know Radu's stepped in and done really well. We know Van der Ven, he picked up an injury, and hopefully he'll be back after the international break, but who knows how long after the international break that will be. So thankfully, it's not too bad.
But he's still been called up for Argentina for the
classic
for the internationals. So it's just so classic, isn't it? Romero gets an injury just before the international break, the narratives start, and he still gets called up. I mean, surely Argentina just got to do the right thing and just let him off just for one international break, please.
Well, look, we'll see if he plays, because remember, before the last international break, Korea called up Son and then they pulled him out. Yeah. So let's see. Maybe it's a case of they've called him up before they knew the extent of the injury, and now they'll take him out. Or maybe he'll be fit for the second game and not the first game. I doubt he plays 2 games for Argentina. I really do.
You'd be
so
surprised, mate.
I doubt it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with him.
Yeah, but definitely a more positive update than maybe we first feared, because obviously he's went off injured the last 2 games for Spurs, against Man City and against Aston Villa. We all fear the worst when our players go off, because you go back to last season, Van der Ven and Romero both getting injured and both out for significant periods. But it looks as though, from what we're hearing, that Van der Ven and Cuti Romero will be back both for the Man City game, hopefully.
Well, to be fair as well, we look better equipped at dealing with their absences this season as well, with Dragusin coming in, doing really well. And Ben Davies has stepped in. He stepped in last season as well, but a lot of the time he was partnered with Emerson Royale and not a proper centre-back like Dragusin. So thankfully, it's not as a dire situation as it was last season when we had Dyer.
No pun intended. No pun intended. Let's talk about one of the replacements in Radu Dragusin. Gazzetta dello Sport are claiming that Juventus are in the market for a centre-back after discovering Gleison Bremer will miss the rest of the season due to injury. Juventus are allegedly looking at players that they can sign on loan, and one defender on their radar is Radu Dragusin. Again, good luck to them.
Yeah, good luck.
Graham Bailey is reporting, though, unsurprisingly, Tottenham have no interest in selling Dragusin in January, despite a bit of frustration from the player's side at his minutes, and Tottenham are looking actually to add a fourth centre-back in January.
I hope so, because definitely that would be ideal, and we definitely need cover for Van de Ven, because as much as Ben Davies stepped in and done well, if we can upgrade that position, that would be perfect.
I think it was up to me, though. If I had the choice between a left-back or a left centre-back to come in January, I'd probably choose the left-back.
I agree. But with Van de Ven knowing he can step in at left back as well, if we do sign a left centre back and then have Van de Ven step in that position, that's also a fine situation. But I agree, I'd rather a left back.
One game bloody Van de Ven plays at left back, he does his hammy.
Yeah, true. So maybe you don't want him too often there. Dragusin's come in, stepped or hopefully this recent run of games will have eased his nerves about getting the game time that he wants, because there were little question marks about if he continues to play the lack of minutes. Then he want to leave in January. What?
I don't think so.
Don't think what?
I don't think that these recent amount of minutes will kind of alleviate those kind of feelings for Radu, because he knows as soon as Romero's back fit, he's out of the team again.
Well, at the moment, he's playing. He's getting a run of games in the Premier League. He's playing in the Europa League as well. When Romero comes back, he's still going to be playing in Europa League anyway. So, look, there's going to be game time for him, especially with lots and lots of games coming up in November, mostly December. You know, really coming thick and fast, and he'll probably get some Premier League game time there as well. So, when I say alleviate, I mean there are rumours that if the game time doesn't go up, he might want to leave in January, and I don't think that's going to be the case now.
Yeah, not in January, but there was also rumours that he wants to stay and fight for his spot as well. But you know, Paul O'Keefe actually did say something interesting but unsurprising about Romero today, saying that he's not going to sign a contract if a club or a club bigger than Tottenham come in for him. I guess it's not surprising, is it?
Yeah, I mean, a player like Romero, doesn't surprise me that if a club like Madrid come in for him and his head gets turned, that he'll want that move, especially if we're continually not competing for trophies and not in the Champions League and things like that. Then I think it's only natural. Look, if let's say we don't get Champions League football this season, there'll be 3 seasons without the Champions League, and he won't want that to continue, will he? So. Yeah, I think I can understand that. But again, these situations are always very fluid. It depends how it goes for us. It depends what teams are actually in for him as well. Maybe Madrid don't want him. So, look, all depend. I think you don't want to panic too much about these situations at this stage.
Yeah, it's true. But the contract situation is looming over us. You know, in the summer it will be 2 years, which is a significant, I think, moment in Cuti Romero's future. Because when you've got 2 years left in your contract, that is where you can get probably the last opportunity to get proper top whack for him, if we can get it. And if a team, there has been rumours about Real Madrid, and if Real Madrid are sniffing and they do have significant interest in Cuti Romero, even if we do make Champions League, I think he would obviously want the move.
Probably, but it depends how much they want him, how much they're willing to spend. Obviously, if he's not going to sign the contract, then we sell. But look, our recruitment's been fine. I'm really happy with our recruitment. And if we sell him for big money, I'm more confident now that we will spend that money wisely than I would have been a few years ago.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if we do spend it. I mean, obviously we'll spend it, but I don't know if we spend it on a direct replacement for Cuti, because I think with Vuskovic coming in, Radu's there as well, I think they probably take the right spot.
Potentially, depending. Yeah, maybe. Look, it depends if he wants to compete next season or not. If he wants to take that next step, or if he still wants to continue to wait for these players to develop. I think at the moment he's doing that with a lot of these youngsters. But in that, if we're selling a senior centre back, I think you're going to want to spend that money.
But then what message is that? Then Radu will definitely want to leave if we're going to sign another right centre back.
Well, he's going to have to. He can't be the only centre back, can he?
I'm saying Vuskovic is coming through, and we've got Ashley Phillips there as well, coming back from loan.
These are 18-year-old kids, and that's fine. I'm not saying that's bad, but it depends who thinks they're ready. In centre backs, one of those positions you want seniority for sure, and if we don't have that, then we're going to have to buy it, I think, in that position.
Yeah. But, you know, he has said as well that he didn't want to buy a centre-back in the summer to not block those players' pathway.
Yeah, but then he also bought James Maddison because we didn't have seniority there.
Yeah.
So, he didn't want to sign a centre-back this summer because we have Romero and we have Van de Ven. So he doesn't need to sign one to block those pathways because we've got seniority there. But if we lose one, we can't have 4 centre-backs all below 22. I don't think that's sustainable.
But I mean, yeah, you say that, but Van de Ven plays like a senior centre-back, and Radu does when he steps in as well. Not enough. No, they play as first team players. They play as senior centre backs. That's a different question. I mean, Van de Ven for sure.
I don't know if he's a leader and a captain. I don't know. I think we need a bit of seniority there.
All right. Well, let us know your thoughts on the in the comment section regarding that situation. And last but not least, Sky Sports Germany are claiming that Tottenham, Arsenal and Liverpool are among clubs that have an interest in Eintracht Frankfurt starlet Hugo Larsson, apparently central midfielder. Know much about him?
Nope. Swedish.
Yeah, another one for the Swedish.
Yeah, so maybe Decky could
like
put
we
a
just
good
get
word.
linked to every single Swedish.
Yeah, look, again, as midfielders, I don't know if we're in the market for midfielders right now. I know we obviously look for a DM, but with Cardozo coming in, like we're going to have a good midfield there, so I don't see the need to bring one in. Decky's done so well in the 10. He seems to be like a box to box kind of midfielder for Frankfurt. Unless someone surprising's leaving, I just don't see why I would bring him in.
Yeah, it looks like he is a CDM with good passing and interceptions, blocks, clearances. So definitely a CDM. And I think all the reports linking us to CDMs at the moment, I've seen a few of them in recent weeks. It's just lazy journalism, I think, because you've got literally Johnny Cardozo just sitting there waiting, and I think we're going to push the button on him in the early stages of the summer.
Yeah, that's why if he continues in the form that he's supposedly been on, which apparently he's really playing well for Betis at the moment. Obviously, we've got that deal there, and it's not even an expensive deal, like 20 million, isn't it? So, between 20 and 25 million, which for an important player like that who could solve a problem is an extremely good price, especially for a player of his age. So, if we think he can do the job, I don't see us going anywhere else, because where else are we going to sign a player who could potentially fill that role for less money? Nowhere. So it's going to be him.
Yeah, completely agree.
Even if we feel it's a bit of a risk, if we're not convinced, like for that price, I don't think we can even. We'll be stupid not to at least take a punt, because we still got Bentancur and Basuma there if it doesn't quite work. So I think we're gonna have to do it.
All right. Well, there you have it. That is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comments section below your thoughts regarding all those updates. Wish us luck. We fly to Istanbul tomorrow. Very much looking forward to the trip. But yeah, bring all the updates will come out from Istanbul over the next couple of days. But thank you everyone for joining us today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always,
come on you Spurs.